Thank you. Let's close our eyes.
Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come before you, Lord, saying, Lord, dear Papa, be with us, Lord, be able to follow the condition. Speak to your children, Lord, let them be accepted, Lord, with the knowledge and the spirit, Father, that comes from you. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, Father, I begin that everything must go accordingly. In the spirit amongst us, in the spirit, Father, within us, we believe and we know, and we trust you, Lord. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we thank you. Amen.
Standing and sing our national anthem. Thank you. Be seated. Before we call upon the Father of the house, our eminency, to give us a message of support, to welcome us and give us a message of support, I think it's only fair for me to introduce the program directors. My name is Samantha, and I've been baptized in the department with the name of Mpumi, so you can call me Mpumi. And today I have my co-program director. Please come forward. Tall, handsome dude, all the way from the Gauteng Department of Finance, and he will be my program director today. Please introduce yourself.
Morning, colleagues.
Good morning. My name is Tom Okey, MMC for Economic Development in the City of Johannesburg. I'm actually bringing greetings from the executive mayor of Johannesburg, Councillor Moyarana. We last spoke last night when we were talking about this event, and he said, will you please pass my greetings to the beautiful people that will be there. So having said that, I also want to thank our MEC for inviting us to this event as a city. We have been talking to say the city needs the province so much. You know, we have a city that is about 6 million people that are actually depending on the assistance and help that they should get from the city. But we can't offer everything except by tapping in the wisdom that is found from our elders in the province and from the leaders in the province. Just before I say a few things about the city itself, you know, we had a 5-minute talk with MEC, but the things that she said has made me so excited, and they have given me a reason to want to work harder. The wisdom that we tap into what they are thinking as the city in assisting us as the province, in assisting us as the city, are things that we really receive with both our hands, because this is not just an ordinary city. This is the #1 city in the southern hemisphere. And we all know that the city of Johannesburg has been from the beginning, it has been a city of opportunities. All the people that are coming here in the city are coming because there are opportunities that they have to tap into, opportunities that will make them be better people at all times. Now, in the beginning, we depended on gold. Gold was the best commodity that we had. It was giving about 40% of the GDP, and it was something that we were all trusting in. But things have changed. Things have changed to the better because technology has now stepped in. And what do we do? Because technology has actually come in to change everything and to change how the city was run, how things have been happening. So as a city, we have been saying in the mayoral committee, we really want to make our city to be so advanced in everything, including ICT. And we said, we are looking for a day when the city will be able to arrest people by using the help of technology. There is no reason why our police will walk around without having web cameras. Those web cameras will also help them to be giving evidence whenever they are in a court by actually giving those cameras to be paid in the court. We cannot depend on the old way of arresting people and combating crime just by going there and arrest someone. Technology has to come in. The way we collect our services, technology has to come in. Days are long past where people will be giving what they owe by liking them a receipt or by giving them or by posting some sort of agreement in their houses. Our cell phones are there. We want people to tap in to start paying from the cell phones and doing everything connected here and doing that through their banks, linking their banks to the city and the city to the bank and so on. So those days have come. And if we are talking smart cities, it has to happen here in the city of Johannesburg. And that is what we are working on, and that is what we want to achieve. That is what we want to ask the province to help us achieve, because we are looking forward to it. But coming back to the city itself, we have advanced in quite a number of things, especially in the line of
The first thing that we have started, we have started promoting our SMEs, their programs, and everything. There's a portal that we are actually building as a city right now, where we will be able to see exactly what an SME sitting somewhere in Coastal City or somewhere in Ivory Park or any other part of the management, exactly what programs that they are offering and starting to communicate from them with them right there. That portal is almost 60% finished and so on. So we are working on those kind of things. But we don't also look only on the issue of SMEs. We are also thinking that we have to strengthen even the informal affairs. That brother that we see at the corner there. We want to know exactly using technology who is sitting at which corner. If that person is sitting at corner market and south, if he's still south. If he or she is sitting there, we need to know so is at this corner and that person is selling a particular product and that person has to be assisted by us in this manner. We have brought a proposal to the city itself to say, even the properties that we have as the city of Johannesburg has to be utilized properly by the very same informal players that are there. We have to bring them in and you know, for example, we want to know that at ground zero, there are people that are selling bags and there are people that are selling shoes. First ground or first level, there are people that are selling jackets and some stockings. At ground level 3, there are people that are selling this and that. So we are actually pushing our business to them. But also, we want to make sure that those people are connected to the city through technology so that we can assist them at all times and the best things that they have to do. We have developed about 250 SMEs in the city, and they are doing okay. We have to be proud of them. But having said that, we are not only looking at people that are doing business, we are also looking at the job seekers themselves. That individual that is sitting there, how can we connect that person with the employer? Because the connection between the people and the employers is not there. It's something that our people are always trying to say. Where are we going to get the job? Who is offering the job elsewhere and so on? And as a city, we haven't even reached our target because we want to deploy about 1,500 people in different skills and so on. How are those people going to be brought into the city? Through technology. So we are going to work harder. We are going to lean on the province to give us assistance to make sure that whatever we are doing is going to be successful. Having said that, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I believe that you didn't waste your time for coming. There are many things that you will actually go back home having learned today. And I also want to give this honor to the LLC to really take us somewhere when hard time comes. We also want to thank the assistance that we get from the executives in our offices. In the DED, in the city, in the province, the executives are working so hard to make sure that they bring all these wonderful ideas into the provinces and into the city to make us all shine. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Good morning, MC. Good morning, NMC, and we'd like to thank you for welcoming us into your home in the form of the City Hall. My colleague, my younger brother, eGov, and ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, our creative members amongst us, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us this morning. Mine is to welcome yourselves and just outline at a high level, you know, our role and what informs our relationship between ourselves and yourselves as the creative industry in the country. In Treasury, one of our responsibilities is to compile a budget. We've been busy with that process in the past 2 weeks. And when we look at the budgets, we look at whether the budget is gender responsive, is the budget youth responsive, is the budget touching on individuals living with disabilities, and then we have specific sectors or sectors in the form of your military veterans, your creative industries. So that's why we are sitting here saying we do look at that. And that is what the document that the departments must complete needs to talk to those things. And what will flow from that once the budget is approved, then the departments need to demonstrate to us how they will operationalize this budget in the form of operational or procurement plans. That is where you come in as SMMEs that participate in the economy. But what we did, as we looked at that, we were like, what are the impediments and the challenges that are stopping our groups, the minority groups, for not fully participating in our economy? And we did our analysis. So now we've come up with a program that is currently working, it's underway. At the back there, Alvina is one of the champions. We have a truck outside that will assist you with some of the things that I will be talking to. Firstly, before you can participate in any business of government, you need to make sure that you are registered on the Central Supplier Database. This is to make sure that we are dealing with legitimate businesses, we are dealing with individuals that actually pay their taxes, that have their compliance issues in place. Having tried to achieve all of that, we also realized that some of the requirements in participating become an impediment, especially to newcomers into the sector. Firstly, some individuals or some businesses, I think if it is the first time anyway dealing with government, you wouldn't know how to interact with the Central Supplier Database. So the truck that is outside, I think the colleagues were still looking at the weather, figuring out if they should bring the staff inside, but you will be advised at the back, the how part. Therefore, you go in there, and then they will tell you the documentation that you need to have in place, that you will need to bring for them to actually register you on the database. So they have computers, they have connectivity, you just need to bring your documentation, and after that, you will get your number in terms of your supplier number participating in the database. Secondly, we realize that we do the registration, and then some of the suppliers will wonder why they're not getting business. Before we send you a request for quotation, we check your status if everything is in order. And what we realize is that There is also lack of knowledge on how to maintain the status on the database in the form of ensuring that you are always tax compliant. Every year, your tax compliance has to be confirmed. You need to, because remember, when you register a company, you register it at CIPC. You need to make sure that the returns, there are annual returns for CIPC, you complete those. You need to make sure, if you participate in a specific sector like securities, the requirements of security industries are up to date. If you are in construction, the CIDB requirements are also maintained and kept up to date. So what we have decided to do is to also bring that into a treasury, because in the absence of you knowing what to do, you probably need to pay someone. But if you are an SME, you don't have those resources. So Treasury has brought it upon themselves to make sure that as a supplier, we support you with those services. We assist you in sorting out your tax issues. We assist you, in all the compliance issues, because compliance can be very expensive if you don't know how to do it. Therefore, we say we're offering this service for free. What else are we going to offer you? We offer trainings and workshops. The training and workshop is going to teach you how to complete a tender document. We may think it is a straightforward thing, but it's very intricate, especially if you haven't sat on the other side of evaluating a tender. You don't know how the difference it makes if you don't tick that box, or what if you tick that box. So it's highlighting the important things that you don't need to miss out when you actually complete your tender documents. Also, what has also happened on the 1st of August was that the threshold or the limit for quotations has been increased from 500,000 to 1 million. So you can still get it, and what is nice, when you request quotations, you can target that I am dealing with women for this particular, I am dealing with this BEE level when I request quotation, to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to participate. So that is the nice thing. So the threshold has increased, we are looking at 1 million. And secondly, we also assist you, there are forms called SBD forms, which are part of the tender documents. We run training workshops in ensuring that our SMEs are properly trained on that. And also the workshops is about basic bookkeeping courses, where the SMEs will be trained on how, you can keep the books, you understand what your profits are. Also, one thing that we realize is that because we say we take the lowest quote, sometimes businesses underquote, and in the long run, you can't deliver the service because it's not market related. Someone was just focusing on making sure that the quote is the cheapest and they can get the business. So pricing is also a concept that we're going to teach on these workshops, to make sure that you price correctly. And currently we have a public procurement bill that is out, that is looking at exactly that there should be estimates of what we expect the price to be. So people who underquote, we know that they will probably fail to deliver. So you kind of know that, a very low price will definitely make sure that service delivery doesn't happen. So those are some of the guidances. And we will also teach you on how tenders are evaluated. So when we say this is the functionality, what does that mean? What needs to be included in your tender documents to ensure that you can be properly evaluated? You understand that when the evaluation of the tender is done, these are the aspects that they are looking at. How do we evaluate pricing? Prices need to be firm. So sometimes you find that the prices are not firm, but they are linked to something. Others link prices to whatever indication, an economic indicator. Prices like that will not be acceptable will not be evaluated. Because remember, when you are given a PO, it must be a firm amount. We can't keep on changing the price once a purchase order has been issued. So colleagues, I know I'm being very technical, but I think the whole point is ensuring that you understand exactly how you can participate, because these are the enablers that will make sure that you can participate in the economy through government spending, because with the economy the way it is, one of the biggest sectors that we are looking at to ignite the economy is government. Businesses are holding on to their money if they haven't been shut down. Government has that responsibility to ignite the economy and make sure that everybody participates in that. One of the realizations we had during lockdown was the fact that ICT, all the fourth industrial revolution, was the concept. But the COVID, the pandemic, the shutdowns showed us that ICT is the way to go. That's how we managed to participate and do a lot of things because of ICT. With that being said, we've introduced a concept of e-invoicing. So you can create, working together with my brother on this side, the ICT experts, assisted us in developing what is called e-invoicing. So when you render a service, you don't need to physically come to the offices and deliver your invoice, but you can submit your invoice through the smartphone called e-invoices. That will ensure the integrity of your invoice that you've been submitted and ensures that it qualifies or adheres to all the legal requirements that fits an invoice that is acceptable for payment, as we are in a highly regulated environment as government. And one last thing that is on the pipeline is that once we register on CSD, then we are developing an app that service providers can look into. Therefore, in there you can check the status of your payments. You can get alerts on things like trainings that have been planned. You can be able to link back to the government bulletin where the tenders are advertised, and you can check that. And Gauteng is in the process. My brother will tell you more about that. So don't worry about the connectivity. Gauteng broadband network is trying to lay as much fiber as we can across the province, that at least you can have hotspots in each area, municipal area, working together with the MNC that side, where you can go to actually get this connectivity, and then your app can be able to work through that form of data, and you can be able to access what happens in there. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is sad for us to see some of our own suffering. We know that COVID shut down most of your businesses, especially as the creatives, because your work is about interaction, is about going to spaces. We've seen some innovation, but what we say, look at the other options on how you can continue doing your business, and you can rethink other means of what you can do with the skill that you have. I discovered the business during COVID, an individual who was a caterer, but on the other side, she was an artist. And their parents-in-law had a factory for pottery. And then, because she was in the food industries, she made drawings and ended up producing plates, crockery. So it's about that creative thinking, which is the skill that I have. Because the art is still working, but it's linked to the food industry, which is where she puts her plate. She puts her food in the form of a plate. She's also got coffee mugs, she's got coasters, and that was flighted on SABC. It's one of those stories. And we wanted to find out the individual is in, in Pretoria. I did buy the plates. So I'm just saying, in the space we are at, we are looking for that in our private lives, but we look at supporting SMEs in our in a small scale, and then you spread the word, you know, that I've come across this individual who does this, and you know, but colleagues, I just want to say we're trying to look at all these various aspects, and also when we interact with the CSD team or the ICT team, I think you're more than welcome to share any other ideas or challenges that you probably haven't picked up that need us to provide a solution to. With all that, I would like to wish you all the best. Work with us because we definitely would like to work with all of you to push everybody to the next level. There is life after COVID. We still need to survive. Thank you very much.
Good morning, still morning. Good morning. Kumela? You don't sound like you are awake. Now, I'm saying, clear morning. The voice is too loud here, but I'll try and speak as soft as I can. Maybe before I start, I must say the facts of things. As the president normally does in his family gathering for family meetings. So for me, I'm not going to speak a lot, but and I think today, let me see, my speech or my discussion will be a bit less because we're not dealing with the youth. Today we are dealing with the adults who are fully aware in terms of what is it that needs to be done. Thank you for the welcome, MMC. We really appreciate your presence here. MMC for one. The fourth industrial revolution is here, and it's not going anywhere. And while we are talking about it now, the fifth one is coming. But the question that we ask ourselves as a country is that how do we ensure that we do embrace it today? To ensure that the people of Orange Farm, the people of Manasaya in Orient Bay, the people of Standard in Greater are able to benefit from this industrial revolution. I know that most of the time when we are in this roundtable discussions in the industrial market, I tend to be seen as if I'm not embracing 4IR. But what I'm saying is that the 4IR solutions that we have in London, in Heathrow, in Los Angeles, will not work for us here in Zambia. We need to create our own solutions at the same time embracing the 4IR. That will be able to work for us here, for us to ensure that we don't leave our people behind. It will never assist the country to be able to embrace 4IR in sanction, but there is no 4IR in standards. So we need to ensure that as industry experts, we are able to determine and differentiate the solutions provided accordingly to deal with the issue at hand, based on the issues in that situation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about 4IR today and its impact in the global village. And this is characterized by a range of new technologies that are fusing the physical, digital and biological worlds, impacting all disciplines, economies and industries, and even challenging ideas about what it meant to be human. I will not focus much in terms of what we are doing here, I think my sister has already alluded more and elaborated more on that. As the world in South Africa, we are all affected by a deadly virus that has wiped out millions across the globe. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected the industries, but amongst the most affected has been the creative industries. There's a reason why I'm talking about the creative industry, because we are here today to deal with the people from this industry. Many of you were stuck at home without any work or any income. Many of you have lost your houses, have lost your assets, because you did not have income to be able to service them. For this industry, it has become the worst time of our lives. I don't think there's anyone in this industry who has ever experienced such worst in their lives. We know that things are now going back to normal. However, the question we should all ask ourselves is, how do we ensure that we use technology to be able to use technology to assist us as a creative industry to be able to generate as much as income as we can, as quickly as we can, to be able to try and recover from the pandemic that has affected us. We need to be able to change the traditional way of working in terms of business. For those that have managed to raise it, especially in the European and Asian world, have been able to survive better than us in South Africa. And that's a fact. So it becomes very easy for me when I see probably on one afternoon, I think it was a Sunday or Monday afternoon, to say how we sit down and talk about the creative industry. And that becomes very easy, because for me, I could understand what was happening in the creative industry. And then all of this happened because we were sitting with two most senior creative artists in that discussion. That discussion happened a few weeks ago. I think it's less than 6 weeks, let me see if I'm not mistaken. But today we are here to be able to deal and assist this industry in terms of moving forward. The discussion is very profound and fruitful. It's very clear, as you can see today, where we are in terms of that discussion. When you together with the and the industry of the creative industry, we need to find a solution. We know that there is this of grant in terms of the industry. But for us, we need to assist them in terms of using technology to understand how to fish. Not us giving them the fish, because we're not able to sustain that. A few days ago, I came across a very interesting survey which speaks about the impact of the virus on this global creative industry. The survey, which was targeted for creative creatives, revealed that a number of global trends, most notably the immediate and devastating impact of loss of work and income, which 81% of the respondents did state that their income has been reduced, some even lost their entire income during the period of March 2020 to September 2020. And 40% of those, they've seen a reduction of their income of over 50%. It further says that the impact of income led many creatives to seek alternative employment, with 72% of respondents willing to change their ways of work and their ways of life due to this pandemic. The question still remains, how do we use technology to assist this industry to be able to change their quality of life? With the restrictions on full-scale productions, many creative adopted delivery services such as animations and post-production from home, and many also moved into freelance work from full-time employment. I'm pretty much sure that many of you can relate to this. Ladies and gentlemen, the South African government is part of the global village, and we also face the same challenges related to rapid development in respect of information technology and communication industry. Modern society explores the advantage options to solve current problems using ICT, to improve the efficiency of service delivery and the quality of life. It is in this context for the efficient and effective delivery of socio-economic services, whilst at the same time keeping pace with technological development and ensuring a better citizenry engagement. Therefore, what have we done as a Gauteng provincial government, and what are we doing? In 2015, the Executive Council of GPG took the bold step to digitalize public services, and this was made evident by the formation of the Public Department of eGov, the one and the only of its kind in the entire country, which is responsible for driving out technological innovation that will lead to the digitalization of our beautiful roads. eGov has been tasked to digitalize all government services so that citizens can access the government services from the comfort of their home. What have we done? We have created a digital platform access through the following URLs, contact.gov.za, where you are able to get access to services such as e-invoicing, CSD, and e-recruitment from the comfort of your home. We have made it a point now at Gauteng provincial government that all companies that deals in terms of providing service to GPG does provide their invoices online. They don't need to drive all the way from wherever they are to go into the department of GPG to provide their invoices. We have also made a point that if companies are able to understand on how to provide those services, each and every department is responsible to train their service providers to do so. I can report here that, for example, the Department of eGov, in our last month invoicing processes, we have processed all our invoices using e-invoicing. Our target is for the entire province to process such on 100% basis. HOD is fully aware that this is one of the KPIs that are sitting with all the HODs of all the 18 departments of the province. How do you ensure that digital transformation offers new opportunities? It has become a mass way in all aspects of our life to talk about digitalization. The cultural and creative investments are some of the fastest growing industries that are significant contributors to the economy, the creation of jobs, and quality of life. With a massive wave of digitalization, institutions within creative industries are facing the challenge of how to restore the existing environment while staying true to their mission and values. If we want to thrive, we need to adjust the business model to the technological and economic changes. And that is for all of us. Secondly, digital technologies have played a critical role in the innovation of transit. It has significantly pushed organizations to rethink and innovate their business models. Digitalization offers both opportunities and new challenges for the creative sector. While embracing digitalization, there will be challenges to your creative industry. Some jobs will be lost. What we need to do is to ensure that for any job that gets lost, we need to find a way of how we train those people to be able to adapt to the new ways of working so that we don't lose job at the end of the day. You need to think of streaming services, online publishing, software digitalization of art and photography, and completely new industries like augmented reality. This is the reality that we live in today. Digitalization has modified the relationship between artists, agencies, and consumers. It has changed the way culture is mediated or facilitated to the audience, as well as the way culture is controlled and perceived. Through this program, we hope that we will take advantage of all the avenues to do formalize your business so you can offer a service to us and the entire nation, which will be able to be done in a digitalized format. You will be shown how you can register a business on the central database and will also adhere to all the necessary regulations compliance as the HOD has said. Furthermore, you will be empowered with ICT skills through the ICT skills development program that we offer. That will also assist you to understand the issue of cybersecurity in terms of the business that you are moving into. This will be offered by both the Department of eGov and the Department of Treasury Ladies and gentlemen, some of the key things that we are doing as a department, or you can call them key programs. One of the key ones is public development, which we do believe that the phase 1 and phase 2 did not transform the industry, especially transforming the township economic revitalization. That did not happen. We've taken it upon ourselves to say that for each work that will be done in each and every community, that 30% of that work will be done by the community. And we're not negotiating that. It's very clear that when we go to a place like Makassar and Orange, you can see the poverty that lies there. There's no reason why we can't provide them with Wi-Fi or GPN or fiber for them to be able to have access to information that can be able to change the quality of their lives. People need access to information. If you are able to provide people with access to information, the rest is easy, because they will be able to make decisions based on the information that they have. Some of the programs that we are doing, colleagues, we are working with Professor Barnes and the University of Johannesburg in terms of getting people to start living out of schools. And this coding process or programming process, it does not discriminate anyone. You can be 90 years old, you will be accepted. You can be 50 years old, you will be accepted. You can have no memory, you will be accepted. You have a PhD, you will be accepted. It does not discriminate anyone. Currently, we are also working with West University in terms of a program called eGov, which will also assist in terms of providing different colleges with Wi-Fi and online access. This will be able to also bridge the digital divide between the different colleges and universities. At the same time, we are also working with the Department of Health to deal with the issue of curricula of different colleges so that they can align with the fourth industrial revolution. Because the ways of working forward will have to be adapted to the fourth industrial revolution.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone that's present today. MMC, this is how we create here. Not as a creative artist, but as well as when people in the room, from us and that. But thank you so much, colleagues. I was in London, somewhere in Johannesburg. What were you doing? Thanks for fine town lands, Galabushas, that area. Even what were there? Okay. So what's the address meeting? Hey, Siakwazi! There's a lot. Jerusalem. So I think that's the Alengo. So let me greet program directors. Let me greet our, I'm not sure what council life here will figure, but our MMC, Babu Balu, Babu Fuke, Puka, and then Cyril Baloi, our HOD for Empowerment, Louis Amiani, our HOD for Treasury, our honored guest from Creative Industry, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. And thank you very much for being part of this program today in this shipping morning of Johannesburg. This is a continuation of our Gauteng Expo program where we've been visiting all the regions in the province and provide direct interventions in as far as sex delivery is concerned. So far, this program has yielded positive fruits, especially in finding local municipalities in both the West Rand and Citibank and Tshwane. This is the fourth one today. And on Thursday and Friday we will be in Sydney, Kuruleni. So, but it's not the first time that ourselves as the Department of eGov and Treasury we've been doing rounds to the province and MMC. We have been doing these trainings in the podcast even here in your Johannesburg space, because we believe that we need to go out and interact with the communities. We can't say, as I told you, but we don't provide resources that must make them to do that. Hence, we believe that our role is to go directly to them and take these departments to them and educate them about what government is doing. And I think we are becoming successful in that space. And we even thank the provincial government now that all MECs are able to go out and do exactly those road shows that we've been doing as the departments of eGov and Treasury. Direct interventions such as cleaning, handing over of refuse removal trucks, promoting environment, by planting trees, registering companies on CST, and training of young people, old women, religious leaders on ICT. So you are not the first sector that was trained. We're training religious leaders directly from their churches. Some of their children have certificates already as we're speaking. And we're working with the big companies like Microsoft, Huawei. Now we've just finished a partnership with Telkom, but we want all of them that are ready to do this work of empowering these people, especially yourselves included. So today we're targeting you as the creative industry with the full knowledge of the hardship that you have been going through as a result of COVID-19. Your industry was one of the worst affected by social distance measures because most of your events were value-based. The unexpected drop in the revenues had put your financial sustainability at risk and has resulted in reduced wage earnings and layoffs with repercussions for the value chain of their suppliers from creative and non-creative sectors like you. Some cultural and creative sectors, such as online content platforms, have profited from the increased demand for cultural content streaming during the lockdown period. But the benefits for this extra demand have largely accrued to largest firms in the industry. Since the advent of COVID-19, you were forced to be innovative, adapt to the massive digitalization coupled with emerging technologies such as virtual and augmented realities that can create new forms of cultural experience, dissemination, and new business models with market potential. With the lockdown, many public and private service providers moved content online for free to keep audiences engaged and satisfy the sharply increased demand for cultural content. While the provision of free and digital mediated cultural content is not sustainable over time, it has opened the door to many future innovations. We wanted to do this event, MMC, directly from what is this place at Southside Bridge, come there, at Market Theatre, close there, that space that is there. We thought we would have an opportunity to be there because we felt that we want to go where the creative industries are. But it's not all is lost because we know now you are here, we will definitely publicize the spaces where you are so that we are even able to connect that space. Already my team has go there and check because we want you to have connectivity so that when you want to Google and do some other work, when you are around that space of Market Theatre, you are able to benefit from the Wi-Fi connectivity that is going to be done by the department. So HMT's team is busy with that work as we speak. To capitalize on the need to address the digital skills shortages within the sector. So your sector needs skills, especially this one. You need the certificates that we are providing other people too, so that when you don't have work, at least there's something that you are doing. And I'm sure at some stage you will even tell HOT and the team what are the other things that you think you should be trained that are related to the ICT space on your site. Because I know now in America it's easier for them to perform. Clearly so as if we're watching them, not virtually, but they are on stage using these gadgets that they are using, including those cameras that are expensive. But those are the things that once we have these platforms like you will be able to advise government what are the things that you think should be done to assist you to be able to do your work easier. So we need to improve this digital access beyond large metropolitan areas, which is this area of ours, MMC, with the additional consideration that digital access does not replace the live cultural experience or all jobs that go with it. Some of the artists like DJ Shims have collaborated with Channel O and came up with a very creative way called House Artists. that we were watching during COVID-19. And the marketing part of this show was done digital. And this was made through channel of viewership and increased, and more sponsors came on board. And HOT was making another example of the creative woman that is called Zola's Kitchen, that she showed me the beautiful things that she is doing. You are doing some of those work. You are doing beads. We need to market these beads. And the Department of eGov is going to assist you, because we have an app that we use to market the work that you as artists are doing. But not only use SMMEs, because we're saying it's done for SMMEs, but now we'll specifically assist you with your companies to do that work through the Department of e-Government. So that marketing part will be done digitally, as it was done to channel O viewership, which we've seen. And now digital marketing becomes very central in your work as the creative industry. And it's not something that is controlled by a few companies and people. It is for everyone. The internet is not controlled by a few people. And more importantly, it is not controlled by any. If you and your business products and services are beneficial and beautiful for people, and you really want to help them with your products and services, that digital marketing is for you and your business. Hence, we want to train you now to be able to get into the gadgets and be in that space without fear or favor. You do not do anything new when you use digital marketing. It is the same as you communicate about your products and services offline. The only difference now is in the tools and techniques and platforms. But you can do it with weekly computer, internet knowledge, and after learning the basics of digital marketing. You know, there were few artists, including these ones that we see in Jerusalem, that were able to be known by all of us because they were doing that song on the internet and even in our digital space. As a sector, you are already an economic drive and source of innovation. Most countries internationally, they rely on you in their economies. And we want to make South Africa believe that you too here in our country, you are a better people that we must rely on to improve our economy. When you have a jazz festival or anything that makes a gathering of more than 50 or 100 people, those people buy in that space, in that area where they are. People that come, they buy immediately the value of anything that is there, or goods that are being sold there. Here's a penny, and then the market goes on and you are able to buy other things because you have an opportunity to get the people that in that space. So we want to assist you balance both offline and digital space, that you are available and this government needs you. Hence we need to even to benefit to some of the opportunities that government do have. So in the recovery there is an opportunity for dense metropolitan such as Johannesburg and Tshwane areas, including Ekurhuleni, and the remote learning regions are likely to consider growth models, moving away from culture-based large scale towards models fostering cross-innovation. You can also capitalize on the role of culture to help raise awareness about the complex challenges that continue to affect our communities. The contribution of culture that can also be important in other areas of local development, from rebuilding public trust to contributing to post-pandemic urban design adapted to social distancing rules. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is for this reason that we are here today, and we want to engage with you, work with you, and walk with you side by side, and provide the necessary support which is required. Of course, for now, our intervention is limited to ICT. We are also in the drive to encourage you, if you have companies, to register on the central database, as HOT was here speaking to you, because we want you to be able to tender if they are tendering, because some of you are electrical engineers, but you decided to pursue the side of arts and creative industry, but you can still register your companies and then you can do other work while you are doing something else on the other side. So you can be able to do business with Gauteng provincial government. There are opportunities that you can can start benefiting from them. Hence, HOT was talking to you. As Gauteng, we have what we call Township Economy Revitalization Program, which seeks to empower small businesses. Once you are registered, you can be able to do business with us. Gauteng provincial government has long taken a decision that 30% of the total Gauteng budget must go towards small businesses. On that note, thank you very much for being here and again for your bravery in this weather, and ensure that we leave other things, because we should have been practicing at the market theatre or doing something at home. Some of you that are practicing in your backyard, but you decided to be here so that you can be part of this ICT training. It's going to continue today and tomorrow. They will be giving you the tips on the do's and don'ts project. If you have a project, how do you manage a project? On communication, how do you communicate? How do you connect even amongst yourselves? But again, then there will be this bigger part that we are going to do of getting now into details on the ICT space. What is the digital literacy and other things that you'll be told to do, which will be the courses that they will lined up for you. I hope after 6 months we will be having certificates here in this one, handing over to yourselves because you are going to pass your course. If there are those that will not be able to cope with the level of ICT, working on this online training, there will be people that will work with you until you understand what is expected. They will group you, you will be given working in groups, so you will be able to be assisted for the next coming 6 months, and then come after 6 months, you are here, because some of them, these companies even help some of you to get work. So it's unlike you're getting the certificate and stop there. And some of you, if you are saying, I need to proceed and do my bursary, we will link you with the vets, the work with Simulocom, they will help you with SME trainings. Simulocom is there, UJ, we are working with UJ, they will help you to do some work. The e-waste that HOT is talking about, we want all the gadgets that are sitting at home that you are not using, that are old. He's going to tell you at some stage the plans that you are doing on the e-waste, because we want to create more jobs. And some of you as creative artists, that's the work that you want to do on your hands. We want you to have your own e-cell phones that are singing your songs on that cell phone. So done by yourself, but we will definitely work with you and improve your work, because for us is to make sure that we improve your work. And that already they are assisting us to train other young people to do robots. So already, but we still now to need the better equipment, those means are cardboards. Now HOT is busy with the University of Johannesburg to ensure that we are able to buy now the equipment so that these children can do our own robot in the province and in the country. I'm not sure if it is going to be so that artists can see that they can do. People must see you now doing something but helped by this government. We will definitely work with you in all the way and make sure that your problems, our problems as government. It was so hectic for us 2019 when you were able to get even a cent from your pockets, because there's nothing else that you can do. Value the and you need to buy food for your children. But companies that have ICT, they were able to work as if there's nothing. I'm going to one with an ICT company or ICT just striker. So very few Americans, because the way they and the buyers because they are in circle. So they were helping each other. But on your side, nobody was helping you. Because Kujo Alina saw this skill, say ICT, that today we want to start that journey with yourselves. You are going to thank you.
I have a few questions, and I will be as quick as possible. This question goes to the HOT. She spoke about your CIDB. It is difficult to grow on the construction sector because of the 30%. Remember, if we are growing a township economy, then it should be at least an opportunity as a business that will take you from point A to point B. So what happens is, if you hire a principal contractor and me as a person with grade 1, it's so difficult to get to grade 2, even to grade 3. You'll be stuck, you'll pay 450 every year simply because a job that you will get is for 30,000, 40,000 or whatever the case is. It's not a job that will take you from point 1 to point 2. And then for women as well, in construction, it's so difficult. I'm actually excited to see a lot of women here. But on the construction sector, we are being pressurized. There are men who are pressing us down so that we don't continue. And then as for CSD, I'm asking about what are we doing to fix the people who are inviting us for quotations, for fake quotations. And then number 3, we are not being protected as women in construction simply because these contractors will take time to pay us. And as for a small SME, if they don't pay you in time, then you are out of business. So what are we doing about that? Lastly, I'm excited with ICT. Now the question would be, when are we going to come to a place where when we apply for a quotation, you don't have to print out documents. You can just apply, you can do everything without, printing out a document. And then, thank you so much.
Okay, the last question.
Sanibonani molweni, igama lami uKwathikazi Ivory Kaskepe, lenza music we-disco. Into ezayicela bantu benkosi bane-government, umusic sisenza ngamuzic wakudala usenziwa ngamo-modern China Smash, Super Smash, Patricia Magalisa Awadiva, wasesemhlabeni emhlabeni, bene-Daron Kids, bene-By4, bene-Machines. So bezocela mna everyone, aba bantu bezifundisa basemhlabeni. So thina sifuna ukuthi lo music usustain ungapheli. Bezocela ukuthi government angenelele noma siyayazi ukuthi echukule ngazi ungamenzisa ingampheli. Asifuni indlela sisho amagora asiyenza kakhulu ukuthi sikhuleke sibabafazi. So bezocela MEC abonishoti nisinede ukuthi sichaze ezi-disposition ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sifundise abantwana abancane ababishisi because i-emergency sibheke sasekhona, splash bheke sasekhona, chemicals bheke sasekhona. Ezayicela nje umusic wethu ungafi ngoba ilizwe baluleke kakhulu umusic wethu Thank you very much.
kuzoba ne-team, I think izwekayo yokuthi kuqalwe nathi esikhona la kwenziwe South African group ezokwazi ukuthi shuthi mekasho mhlawumbe ngicabanga kwami ngize esho umfanekiso la kuhleli khona iy'gaba zethu town ezizosebenzela khona. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ngoba siyaqala ukuthi siveze le-digital ezokwenziwa eThekwini, mhlawumbe kuzoba isiqalo la sizoveza sisebenze kwenze into ngoba sizokhuluma kwezoshonelana ngoba lethu sekudala sekusenayo lethu ngiyaphoswa uphoswa nje ukuthi sifake senze isitimu sethu siqale laphaya emsamo ngoba wethu sinamadatha ukuthi sesiyawofa kanti ziyabuye zimele kanti nesisawuthi umama nje obhekene nabantu abaningi nginedatha Orlando East, about 100 EU, about 150, Massachusetts, and Yamaha Lady, there was 200 Massachusetts. So it was not as if I was some seven, the community is together. Now,
once more, thank you very much for, I think, your engagement, for interacting with us, because it would have been said that we come here just to be a one-way communication. So thank you very much, and we appreciate the feedback from yourselves, because we wake up every day and we do what we are supposed to do. But what is important is that the people we are interacting with, are they getting the value we think we are providing to them? So for an example, the issues of red tapes, I note that, and also note the issue of funding. MEC, I think at the beginning of this year, we came up with a revenue enhancement strategy, having understood that COVID-19 has eroded the revenue base of government through the erosion of taxes, businesses going under, and the likes. And that also made us realize that, especially for SMEs, that as part of the township economic revitalization, it's not just about us giving you business, because in government we don't do prepayments. You need to find your own money, and then we pay you after you deliver the service. And we realize that one of the challenges is access to the funding that will ensure that you are able to deliver the service that you require for yourselves. And when we look at the process, just like me and you are applying for a loan in our personal capacity, you only get it if you have a track record. Therefore, if you are an SME, you don't have those 3-year financial statements. You don't have those reserves in your bank account. So chances are your application will be declined. Our development finance institutions, which are the ones who take into consideration that SMEs, places like the PICs and the likes, we all know that they have to release some of their funding to actually make sure that people can sustain themselves through the grants that were provided. Therefore, their reserves are also depreciated. Therefore, between ourselves as the team that supports the MEC, we are looking at other avenues. We can assist you with the development finance institutions, you know which ones to access. We have CFAs, we have, the small business development. But as a Gauteng, how do we do that? We know that, for example, in the space of construction, or housing sector, we have the Gauteng Partnership Fund. And I know for a fact that their process, I'm talking to the lady who was talking about construction. There is a funding. When they do their funding, they look at supporting, and they also have mentorship programs for newcomers into the industry. On the part, I must say, on the part of creatives, I think we were looking at a broader strategy on how we engage private sector now to work with us in trying to get that grant funding that as an SME you can receive. We're still knocking on doors, so at this point in time, it's something that's in the pipeline that we are working with, and we will be partnering with our Department of Sports, Arts and Culture here in Gauteng on them backing us up, especially on certain sectors such as the creative industry. So at this point in time, I will be honest with yourselves, we've identified that this funding is sitting in certain sectors, but we are looking at an overall strategy that will deal with those sectors that are, in the lack of a better word, the ones that have fallen through the cracks that we don't have focused attention on. So this grant funding that we're looking at is basically cheap money, if it's not free money, because you get it, but the security of that funding in the absence of your financial statements is your contract that you have, because they need to have a probability of security in terms of how you will pay it back. In the form of grant funding, it's where you repay the money without any interest in it. But we also look at other strategies of having cheaper money than the normal lending of money that will happen from any other bank, but negotiate better rates with the various financial institutions that we are looking at. So we are looking at that. I think in the next short term to medium, so we're talking about 6 to 12 months, the MEC should be making a pronouncement in that regard on what we have secured. We have timelines, so we also have our own pressures. MEC has her pressures on making sure that economic recovery happens in the province as instructed by the Premier. So we've got those instructions as well, we need to implement those. On the part of training, yes, this is the gentleman. Our MC, our core MC is the gentleman that you need to make contact with today, and he will share with you his details, email addresses and phone numbers, so that you can contact him. And then you said you are also in the space of training in the creative industries. So I think getting the background of exactly what you do, how do we partner with yourself, you know, how are you looking that we can work together in this regard. I think it's very sad to hear a comment that says creative industries do not make an impact on the economy. I must say that is a lie, especially that the people who preserved our sanity during lockdown level 5 were creatives. If we didn't have those TVs, if we didn't have those house parties, if we didn't have everything that was sustaining us other than food, of course that's all we did. We were eating, but the other things that were stimulating our minds, we were watching TV, whether you're watching a documentary, whether you are playing music, whether you are listening to poetry, whether you are reading a book, that's what preserved our sanity when we were going through the COVID pandemic. So definitely not. Creatives have a significant impact. And as we are watching this, that is a transaction, it's a sale, because you are paying someone. It's either you're paying a license or you are subscribing to DSTV, to Netflix, to whatever, or consuming data just by watching that. So to say that is not contributing to the economy, I'm not sure who the person made that statement, what were they thinking about, because definitely as the time runs, money is being consumed. I know the comment, but I think the HOD will speak to that in terms of the rollout of GBN and you know how you don't see locals participating. The HOD has a plan on that. We've been going around with the MC, and someone did indicate that we have roadshows. So our communication team will advise on that, but we usually engage with the people on the ground. So we are here with the city of Joburg. They have councillors. We find a way of how the information filters through their business forums, through the ward councillors, through all the other structures that work on the ground, and make sure the message filters through, and you know, eventually everybody knows about MEC's roadshows. Difficult to grow in the construction industry. We must say that with MEC, we just made a comment that this is a comment that is coming up in a number of our roadshows. And engagement with the Department of Human Settlements is key, and also MNC through the MNC housing of the city as well. Having that integrated approach, we are implementing what we call a DDM model, which is the one plan. So we ensure that alignment on how are we going to ring-fence spending towards women, and also, you know, the bullying. It's very unfortunate to hear such comments, because we look up to our brothers as our protectors on the other side. So, you know, it's very unfortunate for those elements, and we know very well that there are men who are supporting women, but those elements that actually have these practices, it's something that we need to. Unfortunately, the HOD for human settlements in the province is a lady, so I'm sure she will have empathy when we deliver this message to her in terms of the strategy, because it will not just be a strategy for human settlement, but as a treasury, remember, we are a department with our small budget, but the 142 billion of the province, we still need to take responsibility for it and make sure that the other departments are spending towards the policy objectives that have been put in place. The issue, I don't think I did get properly, the concern that when you apply for quotations, we need to print documents. So I'm not sure that you need to resubmit. I was not sure if I got exactly what do you mean when you say you print documents. Maybe if you can stand up, Sissy.
Because of what Industrial Revolution, I'm asking that how far are we, where we can, do the whole process, without printing out anything. It was just an interest of where, how long are we gonna? And then the other one also of quotation was to say, we get a lot of fake quotations. Yes. And sometimes it takes you another money. Let's say you have nothing and you want to apply. It takes you money to do a research whether are these people real. Because now you need to Google Department of Gauteng Province. You need to call, and then maybe the reception or they don't answer the phone. And then maybe you need to call someone on a higher a level inside the department because you Google, right? Just to ask the procurement department to say, did you or do you have this request? And most of the time, it just Okay, most of the time what happens is that you find that it's not a real quotation. And then you give up. Next time when you get a quotation, you feel like it's not real. Because I feel that the systems, when it comes to that department, are still lacking for people like us, who have to at least go very far in order to check whether the document is right or wrong.
Thank you. I really want to respond to that. Thank you. I think that's it from my side, and I'll hand over to my colleagues.
All right, let me definitely then start with the last question to make it easy. How far are we to ensure that we don't continue printing? I think it's a very critical question, and Mr. Muchela sitting there can also assist, but the problem or the challenge is not only in terms of do we know what we need to do to stop printing. We do know what we need to do. The problem also happens in terms of the attitude of ourselves as people. That is the problem. I'll give you a simple example. While I used to work for City of Johannesburg, when we had to do the first council meeting without paperwork, it was a mission. A very serious issue. When we had to do a first meeting during COVID, a hybrid meeting where some must be here, some must be there, it was a mission. You had people who had laptops for 3 years, which they've never opened it. So it's an issue of what do we do in terms of what we call change management, to change the people's perceptions and attitude and aptitude. Because the solution to say we don't need to print is there. We can give it to you now. But the question is, do we still want, does people embrace it, that they don't want to print anymore or not? And it's a challenge, right? It's a human challenge issue. I'll get an email from my office, and then I'll sign the document online myself. I'll sign it online, then I'll stay at home, I'll sign it online. Tomorrow I go to the office, they give me the same document, print that out. And I said, but I signed this thing yesterday. No, we just wanted to make sure we keep the record. But why can't we keep the record of what I've signed already? So it's a mindset issue that we need to change ourselves. We will get to a point where we will not be printing as much as we are printing. But it's a people challenge. In IT, we said it's easier to manage a system than managing a person. Because the system doesn't talk. It's me and the system talking. And the system will do what I'm telling it to do. If I fail, it means I'm not clued up enough to tell it what to do until I get to that level. But with a person, there's an issue of lots of things. Attitude, arrogance. I used to do these things like this. You are bringing a new thing, I don't understand it. Corruption, maladministration. There's so many things that are involved. So it's things that, you see, if everything can be done by a system, the first thing that this government will be able to solve is corruption. Because if you go and change a value in the system, it will tell me who changed the value. It will tell me. But today you've got a challenge whereby people just write things and they don't sign and all those things and move somewhere else. So we will get to that point. In terms of fake quotations, and I think that's the reason why the department like eGov working together with municipalities to try and get away from that. The issue of fake quotations is something that will always happen. Because there are people who wake up in the morning to go and sit in their office somewhere to create these quotations, these fake quotations. That's part of their job too. That's why in IT we also have people who call hackers. There are people sitting somewhere now trying to hack any department that they have. Everything, that's their job. Some of them, they just enjoy doing it. So this issue of quotations, fake quotations will always receive them. The question is, what do we do as government to try and minimize them? We, for example, in us, what we do is if there's a flyer that is happening on social media that is saying something's happening, which we know is not happening, we normally write it out and send it out to all media platforms to say, this is things happening, this is not us. This is what we are doing on this. So all departments try to do that. But fake quotations, it's not easy to control them. The only way is you must arrest as much as you can. And it's a bit difficult because I don't think, and that's me, and I can be proven wrong, I don't think our SAPS is intelligent enough to deal with cyber issues. Especially when it comes to issues that we see on a day-to-day basis. It's something that we raise with the security cluster all the time. And I think that and I think things are changing today. If you look at it, there was a case today in Cape Town. 8 suspects were arrested for cyber issues, but the SAPS worked with the FBI on that one. So I think that relationship in terms of using European security clusters to work with us, it's coming right. It's something that will take time because we know where we come from. We don't have that skills and we need to build it.